I was standing there, boots in the gravel, staring at a gate I didn't recognize. Thick black iron, padlocked, with a bold red sign screwed into the middle that said in all caps, Meadow Crest HOA, private access only. And just like that, I realized something I never thought I'd see in my lifetime. They had locked me out of my own land. My ranch, my home, my animals, everything I had built, gone behind steel and chain in a matter of hours. My fingers gripped the fence, shaking, eyes following the metal barrier that now cut across my entire front boundary. Yesterday, it was open, like it had been for decades. That morning, I went into town, just a quick trip for tractor parts and a bite at the diner. I came back to find my life boxed up like a condemned building. And that wasn't even the worst part. As I tried to make sense of what I was looking at, a white pickup truck rolled upright, HOA logo on the side. 3 folks stepped out, matching polos, clipboards. The guy in front, slicked back hair and sunglasses that screamed power trip, pointed at me like I was trespassing on a government facility. "You're no longer authorized to enter this area," he said, matter of fact. I blinked. "This is my ranch. I live here." He cut me off with a flick of his clipboard. "According to updated zoning, this parcel is now under HOA governance. You failed to comply. Access revoked pending legal review." It felt like my lungs stopped working. I could hear my dogs barking from behind the house, my horses stomping in the stables, and I couldn't get to them. I pulled out my phone with shaking hands and called 911. The dispatcher's voice was calm and sterile. "Civil matter, ma'am. Unless there's violence, we can't intervene." Right then and there, I made a promise I was going to sue them. Every last one of them. For trespassing. For harassment. For thinking they could take what was mine. But before I could even process that thought, I heard a scream coming from inside the property. A sharp, panicked yell that cut through my chest like a blade. I dropped everything and sprinted down the road toward the old east fence that hadn't been finished yet. Climbed over. Tore my jeans. Didn't care. Inside the stable, 2 construction workers were there, one bleeding from his arm, the other holding a power drill, looking like he'd seen a ghost. My horse, Sierra, was rearing back, wild with fear. They'd tried to bolt something into the stall wall, and she'd nearly trampled the guy. "Get away from her," I shouted. They flinched. One stammered. "We were told this was cleared." "By who?" "You're trespassing." But before I could get closer, a voice yelled behind me. "Hands where I can see him. You're under arrest for assault." I turned and saw a sheriff's deputy approaching, hand on his holster. "What?" "I live here. This is my land." "Ma'am, we got a call about an intruder on HOA property. Step away from the workers." My arms went up on instinct. My voice broke. "Please, I have the deed. I pay the taxes and he lived here for 12 years. Thankfully, a younger deputy showed up just then. He leaned over to the senior officer and whispered something. The older one looked at me again. "You're Evelyn Shaw?" "Yes." He hesitated, then barked to the workers, "Pack it up. Now." They scrambled, and I stood there, shaking, stunned, trying to make sense of the madness. Later that night, I sat on the back porch of my neighbor's house, only friend I had for miles, nursing a cup of stale coffee while my hands trembled. She was furious. Said the HOA had been harassing her too. Goats were illegal pets now, apparently. "They're trying to force you out, Evelyn," she said. "Bet you it's that developer, Colin Marks. The guy who's been buying up land on the cheap." I nodded. I hadn't sold to him. And now, I was being punished for it. That night, I slept in my truck, rifle across my lap. Next morning, I drove straight to the courthouse and begged to speak to someone in Idaho new land law. That's how I met Harvey Gates, an old-school property rights attorney with the face of a man who hadn't smiled in 20 years. I told him everything. Showed him the footage from my trail cams, including one with a contractor getting kicked by Sierra. He nodded slowly. "All right," he said. "Let's sue the hell out of them." Harvey moved fast. Within 24 hours, we filed suit against Meadow Crest HOA, Colin Marks Developments, individual board members, even the construction company. The story hit the local news by that weekend. Rancher locked out by HOA. But they didn't stop. One night, I spotted flashlights near the barn. I grabbed my shotgun and crept through the grass barefoot. 2 figures near the fence line with bolt cutters. When I hit the flashlight, they ran. My cameras? Footage wiped. Then, 2 days before our first court date, I received a package. No return address. Inside, A stamped contract from 10 years Aga County Signet excluding my land from HOA jurisdiction. I couldn't believe it. They knew the whole time. We marched it straight to court. But just as Harvey picked up the phone to call the judge, his assistant burst in breathless, "They're on your land again with a bulldozer." I don't remember grabbing my keys, only Harvey shouting, "Drive. I'll call the sheriff." By the time we got there, my back fence was crushed. A yellow bulldozer was halfway into the children's riding trail. Colin Marks stood beside a black Mercedes, smirking. "Afternoon, Ms. Shaw," he said. "Emergency maintenance. Drainage issues. Your barn runoff's a liability." I laughed. It wasn't a joyful sound. "You're trespassing on exempt agricultural property, and you know it." Harvey stepped forward and pulled the contract from his briefcase like it was Excalibur. "We have the exclusion documents. You just committed felony mischief." I raised my phone. "Smile for the court." That wiped the grin off his face. "Shut it down," he barked. But it was too late. The damage was done and on camera. Court granted us an injunction. Protective patrols. The media blew up. Hashtags, headlines, veteran rancher versus developer. Support flooded in. But then it turned dark. Someone tossed a Molotov cocktail into my barn at 2 a.m. I woke to flames licking the sky. Horses screaming. I let them loose one by one with blistered hands and tears in my eyes. Fire department said it was arson. That was the last straw. We took it federal. Civil rights violations. Racketeering. Land seizure under false pretense. Then came the whistleblowers, 12 of them. Internal emails. Memos. Plans to sell off my land before I'd even left. They called it post-Shaw development. They tried to arrest me again, said I hacked HOA data. Sheriff Daniels came with a warrant. But I had the email chain. Whistleblower had sent it voluntarily. Then came the zoning petition. A last-ditch effort to rename and rezone my land under a new LLC. Harvey filed an emergency motion for contempt. The federal judge slammed the gavel. HOA accounts frozen. Colin Marks arrested on conspiracy and fraud charges. That smug look replaced by handcuffs and national headlines. But the best part? One morning, I woke to hammering. Opened my front door to find dozens of neighbors, strangers, vets with toll belts all rebuilding my barn. My neighbor, bless her, holding a clipboard like a foreman. About time someone stood up for you. And that night, we held a bonfire on the ranch. People danced, kids rode horses, music played into the night. I painted the old gate in bold red letters. Private land, protected, never again. Because I'm still here. And if you think you can fence out someone who's rooted in this land, you've got another thing coming. So tell me who's really trespassing now? If this story hit home, if you've ever dealt with bullies in suits or battles over what's rightfully yours, leave a comment below, share your story, and don't forget to subscribe for more real-life fights for justice. We're not done yet. Not even close.